The deadline set by the United States for countries wishing to avoid tariffs in trade relations with America to sign trade agreements is coming to an end. In recent hours, more capitals have announced the conclusion of negotiations. There are also those who will be subject to higher tariff rates for exports to the United States from tomorrow. Among the countries that will be blacklisted by Washington are India and Brazil. The fate of negotiations with China, which has requested an extension of the suspension of tariffs until the completion of negotiations with the United States, is also uncertain. India has a problem. Starting tomorrow, all goods exported to the United States will be subject to a 25% tariff.
Prime Minister Modi is a friend of mine, but they don't do very much business in terms of business with us. They sell a lot to us, but we don't buy from them. You know why? Because the tariff is so high. They have one of the highest tariffs in the world. Now they're willing to cut it very substantially, but we'll see what happens. We're talking to India now. We'll see what happens. It doesn't matter too much whether we have a deal or whether we charge them a certain tariff, but you'll know at the end of this week.
In addition, India may pay an additional customs duty for supporting the Russian raw materials market, which will be subject to sanctions from Washington if Moscow does not decide to suspend hostilities in Ukraine. Delhi is feeling the pressure. Indeed, US tariffs have become part of a political storm within the country. Indians are well aware of the potential crisis with a significant increase in the prices of their products on the US market. All the more so because in the United States they are competing with China for customers.
The main issue sitting in front of India today is that the government has destroyed our economic policy, has destroyed our defense policy, has destroyed our foreign policy. Okay? They are running this country into the ground.
Brazil found itself in a similar predicament with a 50% tariff imposed on all goods due to the political situation. This is a real disaster for a market that is overwhelmingly based on exports to the United States. This coffee is exported in very large quantities. Brazil is the world's largest producer and exporter, so there will be a surplus of coffee, and the trend is that prices in Brazil will fall until they find another way to export to other countries. Delegations from Canada, China and the United Kingdom, among others, are still in negotiations. They may be excluded from the August 1st deadline, given the progress of talks. Every day, more countries announce success in the negotiations. The latest agreement has been signed by South Korea, which concluded a series of agreements on the construction of merchant ships. The most important point of this agreement is the expansion of cooperation with the United States in the shipbuilding sector. The South Korean and US shipbuilding fund of $150 billion will cover the entire shipbuilding ecosystem, including shipbuilding, MRO, and equipment. It will be invested in specific projects based on the needs of companies in our country. At the same time, Trump is constantly monitoring the markets and responding to specific sectors of the economy. This is the case, for example, with tariffs on copper imports. The 50% rate announced in recent days is intended to stem the flood of foreign raw materials into the US market and force American companies to mine domestically. The same applies to steel and aluminium, which, according to Trump's election promises, are to be produced domestically.